Hey YouTube, so for this video I wanted to cover IRS Form 1099 Miscellaneous and how to complete it using a simple fact pattern where a company is paying rent to a landlord. So I got the sample 1099 Miscellaneous in front of us and one slide here with the fact pattern and just some of the basics on who needs to report this. So 1099 Miscellaneous is filed by all U.S. businesses that make payments to independent contractors in the course of their trade or business, right? So the types of payments that you might report on this are rents, royalties, other income, proceeds paid to an attorney. What you don't report on here is income paid to independent contractors for compensation for personal services, right? So you used to be reporting that on the miscellaneous form, but now the IRS has created a 1099 NEC for non-employee compensation. So the 1099 miscellaneous still exists, but if you have compensation paid to an independent contractor that doesn't fall within one of these exceptions, you report that on the NEC. So in our example here, we have John is the owner of a marketing company and he rents a building for his business. The company has to pay $4,000 a month to the landlord. All right, so for a total yearly rental amount of $48,000 a year. The rental company provides John a Form W-9, which says that the rental company is Building Owner LLC and is taxed as a partnership for federal tax purposes. John's company has to issue a 1099 miscellaneous to report the rental payments made to Building Owner LLC. Okay. Now, the specific code section that mandates this reporting is found in 6041. And it says that information returns have to be filed by persons engaged in trade or business who make these payments. So personal payments are not reportable. In other words, up here, let's say John is just renting a house or an apartment and he lives there personally and he makes payments to the landlord. That's not reportable, right? So, if you are watching this and you rent your home and, you rent an apartment, you make payments every month to that landlord or the rental company that manages the property, you're not having to file a 1099 miscellaneous. It's only if you're making the payment in the course of your trade or business. So if you're a business owner and you're making payments and you're going to be deducting the costs, that's where you had the 1099 miscellaneous reporting obligation. So what's recorded on the form, name, address, and EIN of the entity or person making the payment. Then you have the information on the recipient, so who's receiving the funds. Before you start making payments and before you file this, you should get a W-9 so that individual, the recipient or the company can confirm to you the legal owner name, the tax ID number, the address, because you'll need all that information to report the 1099 miscellaneous. And then the 1099s are all submitted with a 1096 transmittal form. And like all other types of filings with the IRS, if you can do this electronically, we highly recommend that's the case. Paper filing these forms, well, first you need to file them not just any kind of printer paper. It's a special type of forms that have carbon copies and the magnetic ink, so you can so a scanner can read it. So you'd have to go to Office Max or Staples or somewhere to buy those, or you can order them online. So try to avoid having to do all that kind of nonsense and just go ahead and try to electronically file these things wherever possible. Okay, so if we go back to the 1099 miscellaneous here, just go over the various fields. The payer here, we have John Marketing Company LLC. We have the company's EIN, and then we have the recipient's EIN, right? So Building Owner LLC, that's their EIN address. And then rents in box one, right? So we paid $4,000 a month, so $48,000 for the year. That's what's being reported. And then if that's all that's being reported to this recipient, all the other fields remain blank. In some cases, you could have box 4, taxes withheld, right? If you got, let's say, a backup withholding notice from the IRS, or if the building owner, you know the building owner's name and address, but they didn't give you their tax ID number. You as the payor, if you're making payments that should be reported and they don't provide you an EIN, you should be backup withholding on the payments, right? And so you would have to backup withhold and then remit those amounts to the IRS. In this case, that doesn't apply here because the building owner provided a validly executed Form W-9, so John's marketing company is happy. So they just report their rents and go ahead and e-file this, provide a copy to the building owner. You keep a copy for your records, and the IRS gets their copy via the e-filing. So that covers it for this video. Fairly straightforward. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Thank you.